If you're just starting to create content, you're starting to create a personal brand, whether it be you want to create impact, you want to start a business, or you just see the importance of having a social media presence, the worst thing that you can do is start telling your friends and family about you what you want to do. You start telling everyone. Let me tell you why. Because you believe that you want their support. Most of the time, the sad truth is that your biggest supporter is going to be a stranger, and your biggest hater is going to be someone that you know. Now, most of the time, the people that are going to buy your product, share your video, they're not going to be your friends and family. And if they do, you've won the game. That's a bonus. But the most important thing about this game is being able to show up as you. That's what a personal brand is. Being able to be different, not be like everyone else. But why can't most of you do that? Why do most of you feel like a robot? Why do most of you feel super awkward when you speak in front of the camera? Why do most of you feel super overwhelmed and you dread creating content? Because you keep on thinking about pleasing someone else. You have an expectation. What is this expectation? Well, am I performing at the standard that my friends might perceive me in a good way, my family might perceive me in a good way? So as you're doing the content, instead of you delivering and speaking about what you want to speak about, you start thinking, wait, what might this person start thinking? Then you try to create content in a way that that person might like it. But what about that person? So you start saying things that that person want to hear. Then what about that person? So now that you're trying to answer so many different things, that your content is just so different, it's not even you anymore. And that's one of the biggest problems, because if you do excel at doing content like that, it's going to be your biggest nightmare. And I tell you this from experience. For those that don't know me, my name is Brandon, also known as Suno. I have over 600,000 followers across platforms, and I live full time on my personal brand with my online coaching business. Now, I want to tell you an experience on how I first started and I grew over 100,000 followers in 10 days. I was consistently posting for 4 years, consistently posting shit. People that tell you to post content every single day, that's not a strategy. And I'm going to get to that in a different video altogether. But I managed to find what worked for me. I said my dad's Chinese and my mom's Colombian. And then all of a sudden, I got hundreds of thousands of views. Then I got millions of views. And just that alone, I think it just got about 1 billion views across the internet. People were taking that video like in 2023 or 2002, I went super viral. The government of China called me out to go there to travel the whole of it, to document it with some of the biggest creators in South America. And I met some YouTubers, they had 8 million subscribers. And I asked them, what's the key to just having 1 million subscribers? I just want 1 million. I just want 1 million subscribers. They said, don't focus on the vanity metric, which is the likes and followers. And how does that make any sense? Because they said you need to start focus on doing the things that allow you to have the vanity metrics, which is posting videos. Now, going back to what I was mentioning before, every time that I would post videos and it didn't get traction, it didn't get the likes, it didn't get the views, it didn't get the attention, I'll start to subconsciously think, well, this is cringe. I'm putting myself out there. What my friends and family are gonna think? But if it went successful, the video, if it got 1 million views, then I was like, this isn't that bad because it's a good video. Now I had to play a persona. I had to be someone that wasn't really me, just for the sake of the attention. Now it felt good, but really and truly, I was just trying to live up to an expectation that I created, that never existed, that I was assuming people wanted. And this is one of the worst things of growing so quickly on social media, because you don't know how to recreate, you don't know how to keep a consistent growth without doing the same thing. And I kept on just doing the same thing and it kept on working. But then I realized I don't want to be known for this. There's so much more to me than just being Chinese Colombian. There's probably so much more than you, than just this person that you're trying to play, which you feel super awkward being, which is why you probably dread creating content. Like, do you dread going out to, I don't know, going out with your friends? Do you dread like meeting up your best friend for a cup of coffee and speaking about things that you like speaking about? You don't. But the reason you dread creating content is because you're trying to be someone that you're not. And that's why a personal brand is about being personal and how you can actually show yourself as who you actually are. And that's just by being you. And why can't you be you? Because you're afraid of being judged by what someone might think about you. That's why I made the decision in 2024 to just post content that I like to post. And this is why you have to be firm with not creating an expectation of who you want them to be, but create an expectation of the content that you actually want to promote. Because once you start promoting, and again, this is something completely different, where you create the content that matches the standards that is going to work. Well, it's just a matter of when, not if. And that's exactly what I done. And on paper, it looked bad. I kept on losing followers. I lost around 10,000 followers. And I said, fuck, this is just the end of the game. But I valued so much more when I got 100 likes on posting something that I truly, genuinely wanted. I felt a deeper connection than when I was getting hundreds of thousands of likes for doing something that didn't really mean anything to me. And then in only 30 days, I managed to get 130,000 followers, and I managed to get over 87 million views because I just followed exactly what I managed to tell you. So why shouldn't you tell people about the things that you're doing? Why shouldn't you tell your friends? You might as well just block your friends if that makes you feel more comfortable. Like, block your family if that makes you feel comfortable, because there's no hard feelings. At the end of the day, you want to grow on this platform. At the end of the day, you have a vision. Now they're not gonna see it, and that's completely okay. You're not here to tell them to prove them wrong. You're here to show them that there's another way. But at the end of the day, you need to grow. So at the start, it's okay to be selfish, but then is to be selfish to then be selfless. Because if you don't do that, if you constantly just pretend to be someone else, if you can't be you in front of the camera, well, that's going to be a problem, because you're never going to reach that goal. And if you don't reach that goal, guess who you're going to blame? Oh no, because my family judged me. Oh, because my friends were laughing at me. But in reality, there's no one else to blame but yourself, because because it was you that decided to take that action. You have to control the controllables. You can't control what your friends and family are gonna think. They have their own vision. They have their own problems. You gotta focus on what you think is best for you, and you gotta go ahead and do it. And that's what I did, and that allowed me to go from working as a waiter, being a Uber Eats delivery driver, a retail assistant, to living full time and having location freedom doing this. And especially where we're going now, the creator economy is growing more than ever. Like, everything is starting to change, and having an online presence is the most important thing, especially as we go into an AI community. And I've always said this: what is the one thing that AI can't replace is communities and relationships. And that's exactly what I'm building now, which is why every day that I show up here, it's just being myself and feeling comfortable. And that's why I want to share the same thing. So stop caring too much about being judged by someone who doesn't see your vision like you see it. You have to protect it. So do everything in your power to make it come to life. It might take 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 years, but if it's something that you hold true in your heart, don't let anyone take it away from you, because you'll be being a fraud to yourself, and you won't be able to live happy with yourself. So with that being said, if you like this video, put down in the comment section below if you found this helpful. What was your biggest takeaway? And again, if you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys. Let's go.